Angry Old Hoops here. I'm back with another episode of Just One Play, but in good faith, it's actually going to be 3 plays because I'm going to look at 2 other players that are talked about a lot in the NBA, both of whom are unquestionably better than LeBron James, Jokic and Curry, but I'm going to criticize them too and put that criticism next to LeBron James. You've heard me recently talking about LeBron James's game being reduced to cherry picking and demanding a matchup against a smaller defender. And even with the mismatch, this is Jamal Murray, who is like 5 inches shorter and close to a human being lighter, and LeBron James still has to bulldoze, bends over. He not only lowers his shoulder, but he's like bent in half, and then he takes 6 steps. No, I'm not exaggerating. You're going to see. All right, I don't know why the Nuggets allow this to happen. Well, it's actually because of the Lakers, because the Lakers always call for a switch to get LeBron James these mismatches because he has nothing else. But look at him. Look how bent over he is. Now wait until you see the steps that he takes also. God, this is ugly, clumsy, just certainly not respectable basketball. That's the last dribble. There is a step. And I know you're going to call that the gather step. Here's another gigantic step with a left. The right foot comes down. That's a 3rd step. He's dragging that foot around. The left foot comes up again and goes back down. Now a tiny little step with the right foot and another step with the left foot. All of this is right in front of a referee while engaging in clumsy bully ball. Not skilled basketball, but bully ball. Now, I mentioned how Steph Curry looks much more like a skilled basketball player, someone you can actually aspire to if you care about basketball. Now, if you want to take steroids and use a size advantage in an illegal manner, you can look to LeBron James. If you're a fan of the actual sport of basketball, you can look to Steph Curry. Having said all that, let's go ahead and criticize Steph Curry. Well, actually, I was going to call him out for traveling there, but that's, at least by today's standards, that's nothing. Nevertheless, in the 90s, I'm sorry, Steph, you're not getting away with this. Dribble. You can't even create space like that with your arm in the 90s. And at least he doesn't take, a bunch of little secret steps the way LeBron does. It was one big hop back, but that big hop back was already after a step or 2. Anyway, let's move on to Jokic. This is a spin move and drive against Jackson Hayes. That's the same game, by the way, with LeBron James taking 6 steps. So let's compare the steps of those 2 in that game. Down to 10% of the original speed. I think that's the last dribble. There's the first step or gather step. I'll let you guys argue it. And then he takes 1, 2, and that's it. All right, so if you want to be a grumpy old guy like me, you might call that 3. You may be convinced to say that that was only 2 if you're a strong believer in the gather step. So let's apply the gather step argument to the stumbling steroid here, also known as LeBron James. My God, this is ugly basketball. Last dribble. Step. Let's remove that step because you're going to call it gather. 1, 2. Now keep an eye on that right foot because in the 90s, as much as he moves that right foot, you might get called for that in the 90s. I know you fanboys aren't going to count it, but I'm just saying. Okay, left foot again. That's 3. Right foot comes off the ground and back down. 4. Left foot comes up and down again. 5. That's after removing the gather step. And that's all right in front of a referee. And after getting a size mismatch. I mean, Jamal Murray is only 6'4", 215 against LeBron James, 6'9", 250, 260. And instead of just rising up and shooting a beautiful basketball jumper, he's got to lower his shoulder and take 6 steps. Steph Curry was shooting against taller defenders, creating his own shot, doing difficult things, and then making an actual legal basketball play, or at least when compared to LeBron James, it was legal. Even Jokic was against a taller defender. Jackson Hayes is taller than Jokic. LeBron James needs the mismatch and cheating, not obeying basketball rules just to score. One thing about analyzing LeBron James is that the more you look, the uglier it gets. Initially, I left out how much impact that Murray has to absorb as LeBron James just slams into him, not once, but twice. And then Murray has to dodge the head-level elbow swing. LeBron's the dirtiest piece of trash who's ever played basketball. Answer these questions for me in the comments. How many steps did you count for LeBron James? How many gather steps do you award to LeBron James? Did he take even more than 6 steps? Was I too generous? How many steps did Jokic take? How many steps did Curry take? Do you think that they also traveled or not? Let me know in the comments.